Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. I just got back from a trip to the city of A Coruña in northwest Spain. I lived there for 13 years, so I knew that when I started showing my work American Title around here, that was going to be one of the locations where I wanted to show that work. And I did. For the last month, American Title was on display there, and I had to go back a couple days ago to get my images back. I decided to just go there and stay for a couple of days and do some photography. I only brought with me my Sony a6000, the digital camera, but I'm very happy with some of the results that I got from there. I wanted to talk about a couple of images that I made there, about how and why I made them. I didn't vlog though, it was very noisy and windy, so it have been pretty bad and hard. So let's do it now, but before we do that, let me play a little video. It's 2.5 minutes more or less, with some of that footage and some of the images that I made there. Okay, so this is the first image that I wanted to talk about, and it's one of my favorite images I've made in a while. It has pretty much everything that I look for in an image, even the birds that are real. I didn't realize when I took the photo that they were going to be there, but they are okay. They just add a little touch to the whole scene. But yeah, it has drama, it has mystery, and I love that. This scene was in front of the hotel where we were staying, so I had the chance to visit this location, this hill and light, several times over a period of 24 to 36 hours, and I tried during the day. As you can see, the shot is not bad, it's pretty similar. I wanted the hill to be dark, I didn't want any details, just the little flowers. That was okay with me, but pretty much no details, no grass, no nothing. The sky though was a little bit too bright for my taste, and I think I prefer it with the clouds because they add more to that mystery. And of course I prefer the light being on. With the light being off, it's just a little bit different image. So that's why I tried them at night, and that was too much. With the sky completely dark, the whole thing is just too dark in my opinion, and the contrast between the pitch dark and the super bright lights is just creating that flare that is pretty nasty. I don't really like. I thought it was going to work the best at night, but that was not the case. So yeah, I made this one just before sunrise when the sky was already a little bit brighter, the light was still on, so I think that this was the perfect moment for this shot. I took a bunch of different compositions. That was one of them, and I like this one too a lot. I don't know if I like it more. I'm not really sure. I like the hill, like the curve of the hill more in the first shot because it's like kind of round. But I like this the out of focus foreground. It has more detail here, and I don't mind it too much because it's out of focus. I know, I love both, and both frames have birds, by the way. Yeah, I was lucky enough to have this scene just in front of the hotel. Okay, so this is the second image that I wanted to talk about. This is a very popular spot in this area to photograph big waves during like storm or a big surf. There are very, very big and huge waves breaking against these rocks. And that day that I was photographing this spot, they were fairly big, but they were not huge waves. So I knew that if I went for a regular photo like this one, this is the biggest wave I was able to capture that day, it was going to look pretty much average. There is nothing impressive about this, even though that wave is very big, like a person would be really tiny compared to that wave, but it doesn't look that impressive on this image. So I knew I had to go for something else if I wanted to make a composition here. So I decided to make a long exposure, and I got this one, which is not bad because it has the sculpture there, so it adds something to the landscape, but it's kind of boring. So I decided to actually do both and combine them, and that's how I came up with this image that is mostly the long exposure, but I blended the big wave there with Photoshop. You could do this in camera with a double exposure. So the first exposure would be a long exposure, and the second one would be the big wave. Yeah, I'm not sure about this one. I just wanted to show it to you so you could see the idea that I had behind this image, but the composition might not be the best one, and there is not enough contrast between the wave and the sky. Maybe that makes it better. I don't know. I have to think more about this one. But yeah, I just wanted to show to you how I made it. And yeah, this was my very short trip to A Coruña. I hope to be back soon because it's a very beautiful city, and as I said, I lived there for many years. I have many friends over there and family too. So yeah, I hope you guys like the video, and I hope you guys like the images. Thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next one.